One of the best exercises to get used to nested loops is to print patterns on the console. For example, here we want to display the following pattern on the console. The pattern is 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So how would you use nested loops to print this following pattern? There are some conditions here. You cannot use something like this: 1 backslash n, 1, 2 backslash n, 1, 2, 3 backslash n, and so on. So this is not allowed. This is also known as a half pyramid. So let's see how to solve this problem. So to solve this problem, I'm going to divide this problem or the pattern into rows and columns. So this is row 1, row 2, row 3, row 4, and row 5. And this would be column 1, column 2, column 3, column 4, and column 5. Of course, nobody is stopping me from writing this as row 5 and this as row 1, or this as column 5 and this as column 1. So you can go by either method, but it depends upon the problem. I'm going to show you how when I'm going to use row 1 as the first row here and row 5 as the first row here as well. Okay, so let's treat this problem as rows and columns. If you remember, I told that whenever you are planning to use loops, try to find a pattern in your problem. Here the pattern is, in row 1, only one column is occupied. In row 2, two columns are occupied. In row 3, three columns are occupied. In row 4, four columns are occupied. And in row 5, five columns are occupied. Okay? So I'm going to create two variables, int row comma column. I'm going to run the outer loop, which says I go from row equals to 1, row less than or equals to 5, row plus plus. And we know that in row 1 you can access only one column. In row 2 you can access two columns. In row 3 you need to access three columns, and so on. Therefore my inner loop can go from for column equals to 1, column less than or equals to row, column plus plus. And I can say printf percentile d comma column. And once I print all the elements in the columns, I can go to the next row by saying printf backslash n. So let's see how this works. Let's assume that you're in row 1. We know that we can get 5 rows. Because row runs from 1 to 5 in steps of 1. When your row is 1, your column basically goes from column equals to 1, column less than or equals to 1. So that's only one iteration. Therefore, in row 1, your column is only equals to 1. When column equals to 1, the loop condition passes and you print the value of column. Therefore, you print a 1. Now column goes to 2 and the condition fails, which is when you exit the inner loop and you execute the backslash n, which is when you go to the next line. So let's track our outputs here. So 1, and we have the control right here on the console. Now row is incremented and row goes to 2. Now column goes from 1 to 2. So for row 2 we can access two columns. So column 1 and column 2. And you print the values of columns. So you get 1 and 2. When column is 3, the condition fails. You exit the inner loop and you go to the next line on the console. Similarly, when row is 3, column goes from 1 to 3, so you can access 3 columns and you can print 1, 2 and 3. And when column is 4, the condition fails and you exit the loop, go to the next line on the console and repeat the process for the next 2 columns as well. So for row 4, your columns will be 1, 2, 3 and 4. And for row 5, it will be column equals to 1 to column equals to 5. So this is the way you can use nested loops to print patterns on the console.